Hey guys, hi, welcome to my channel, Expanding Beauty. My name is Konima, and on this platform we celebrate and discuss all things that center and cater to the modern Black woman. So welcome if this is your first time, and join the community. So today what inspired this video, I'd actually been inspired to do this video, this type of video, a while ago. There used to be this YouTuber called who went by Makeup Struggles, and she did mostly makeup reviews. Her channel no longer exists, and it's so sad because she was one of my favorite YouTubers. She was great. But she did, one of the things she had done was shouting out specifically Black makeup content creators. And I remember looking at it and going, oh, I want to do a video like that one day too. Never got around to it. Then recently, I want to say maybe last month, Kelsey Brianna J, who is a makeup YouTuber, beauty YouTuber, did a video very similar shouting out Black content creators here on YouTube. And she also had been inspired by Makeup Struggles. So after I saw that, I was like, you know what? I've got the time, let me do it. And a lot of the reasons why I've been holding back is, if you haven't noticed, my editing skills are remedial at best. So I was just like, no, I want to get, you know, when I get better at editing and doing things like that, then I'll, you know, upload this video. But excuses, and I'm gonna do it anyway because there's some great content creators out there here on this platform. And since a lot of us have time to watch content, I really wanted to do this shout out. And even though all of them are a lot bigger than me, I feel all of these women should be at a million plus, because they put out great content, they're doing really interesting stuff, and it's all about community and support at the end of the day. So I am drinking a mixed berry smoothie with coconut water and cashew milk and a little bit of honey. It's very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down in different categories between the different content creators. This video is going to focus on some amazing, awesome Black female content creators on this platform. I will try to have timestamps in the description box. If you're not interested in certain categories, you can just go to the category that you want to. But there will be a link to all of these wonderful women and their channels. All right? So let's just get started. Okay, so when it comes to beauty, if you didn't know, I kind of like makeup, and I fully blame YouTube for getting me into it. And while a lot of the OGs have kind of gone, there are some great new content creators out here, and I wanted to focus on anybody who is more around the 100,000 to 200,000 subscriber mark or under. So I guess you would consider them micro influencers or whatnot. But anyway, let's just go. Starting, of course, with the lovely Kelsey Brianna J, who ignited me to do this video. Now, Kelsey does a lot of reviews, she does a lot of tutorials, she tends to focus on a lot of high-end makeup. So if you're interested in like Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, Giorgio Armani, or Shiseido. So a lot of high-end luxury makeup brands is what her main focus usually is. She does a lot of great tutorials and foundation wear tests so that you can see how long the products last, how they wear, and based on her skin type, what they're doing. And I feel she probably does one of the best wear tests on this platform. Then I would also, another great beauty YouTuber that I really like is London Makeup Artistry. The thing I like about her as well is because she is a more mature woman, so it's kind of nice to see a different age group here on this platform, which does tend to skew, let's just say, a little bit younger. And she also does a lot of tutorials. She covers, she does a lot of eyeshadow looks. So if she's great to go, if you have different eyeshadow palettes or and want to know how to use them. She really likes color. So she's great to see if you have colorful palettes. She uses a lot of Juvia's plays. She mixes up between high-end and mid-range to affordable, and she also dabbles in a lot of independent makeup as well, which is really nice to see with her reviews. She as I mentioned, she does like color, so she'll do stuff on with Juvia's Place, Ace Beauté, as well as Pat McGrath. She also does review on brushes, and she's pretty consistent in putting out a video at least once a week, so that's always nice to see as well. Another makeup beauty blogger that I really like is Too Much Mouth, and she's great. The thing I like about her, she focuses a lot on foundation too. She has lots of videos on, she has, I mean, I think the woman has tested maybe like every foundation on the market, and she goes in depth and really gives good reviews on why she likes it, why she doesn't like it. She also reviews eyeshadow. Sometimes she does skincare, but I think the thing I like about her the most is her very wry sense of humor. And she does very interesting things. Like the last video she just did that I really enjoyed was going back and trying on products from way back that we all hyped up, like the NYX Jumbo Eye Sticks, or the Coty airbrush powder that people used for setting powder, or Coastal Scents, and she goes and says, well, will this still stand up to the test of time? So she does really interesting videos like that. She has some declutters as well, and her content just, I like her twist and take on doing things, and her slight commentary on the makeup beauty influencer side of YouTube. Next will be Keeping It Simple with Bridget. And once again, Keeping It Simple with Bridget, I like her because once again, it's really cool to see a more mature lady on this platform. She does interesting looks. She also does a mixture on her makeup between high-end and low-end, so you'll see some Urban Decay, but she'll do drugstore, she'll do Get Ready With Me, she'll do Glam Night. She does a lot of themed makeup looks, like for Valentine's Days or this, and she does a lot of reviews as well. So yeah, she's really good for, and her looks that she comes out with are so sophisticated and stunning, and just so elegant and sexy at the same time. So she plays with color as well. And it's interesting because she does it in a way that I feel is very, for lack of a better word, wearable. So yeah, she's another one if you are interested in color, or if you would like to dabble into color or get inspired on how to wear very colorful looks. She's a good one to check out as well. This list wouldn't be complete without me mentioning Kinky Sweat. Kinky Sweat is, she's, I think, based in New York, and her name comes from her Kink Sweat Life. She is I believe she's a yoga teacher, but a contortionist. She is a super flexible woman. I follow her on Instagram too, and just, oh my gosh, the things she can do with her body are amazing. and she does a lot of reviews and a lot of tutorials. The thing I like about her, she does high-end, and she also does a lot of independent indie makeup as well. So you'll see her, like, she does tend to skew more high-end, but when she's not, it'll be maybe brands like, she has done ColourPop, she has done Melt, and she gives very, very in-depth reviews, especially on eyeshadow palettes, but also on some complexion products as well. She gives very in-depth reviews, and the things I really like about her is she also really takes you step by step on how to use that particular product. Like, I know there's this Natasha Denona highlighting, blush and highlight palette that I got, that it's literally because of her review and then showing how it was done that I not only buy it, but I was like, oh, okay, so this is how I use it to get the most of what I have bought. And she'll do like, you know, if she has an eyeshadow palette, she'll do like 3 or 4 different looks you can do with that particular palette. And she also gives very in-depth reviews of makeup brushes and why you would need the certain brushes you use and whether it's worth it or not. And yeah, she's very good for in-depth and also in-depth reviews and tutorials on what you can do with those looks. And last but not least on the beauty in the beauty category would be Andrea Renee. Now one of the reasons I started to get into her is because her and I match exactly foundation range. So I really like to go to her for my complexion products to see, I'm like, okay, what color is she using? Because that's probably what I'm going to need too. She does a great job between mixing high-end and drugstore. In fact, I would say for her, she skewers more towards drugstore. So she will show a lot of drugstore and she will do comparisons. She gives very honest, all of these ladies give honest reviews, which is what I like about them as well. And she will show different looks, but I really like that she shows just what choices you have in the drugstore range, and that you don't always have to go high-end or spend that much money to get a product that is of quality or good. And a lot of times she'll do like a battle of the brands. So she'll do half of her face with maybe a high-end and a half of a face with dupes of the drugstore one, and to see and to compare and contrast. So if you're looking for dupes, if you want to see more affordable alternatives, or you know, just get inspired, she's a really great one to watch as well. So I hope you enjoyed the beauty category. So I'm obsessed with hair. I too, by the way, have a hair and beauty makeup channel on this platform, which I'm not very good about posting regularly, so there's that full disclaimer. But there are some wonderful natural hair ladies on this platform. And if you're just starting out with natural hair, if you're in a rut, if you're in transition, these are just a few of my suggestions of who have really inspired me. The ladies I keep going back and checking on their channel and who are just entertaining. So I will start off with Star Puppy. She is amazing. I almost feel like she is a kindred spirit. She is the younger twin sister that you can't be younger and a twin. Never mind. But I'm just like, I feel you, girl. I see you. And she's Danielle, she's great. And she classifies herself as your resident weirdo, and she revels in her weirdness, which I love so much. So her channel doesn't only focus on hair, but predominantly focuses on hair. And she has kinky, whatever you want to call it, kinky, coily, 4C hair. And so she does a lot of things where she basically goes through learning how to deal with it. And the other thing I like with her is because, you know, we're so used to so many of these natural hair vloggers who seem to have, for lack of a better term, like this beautiful, picturesque, like, hair. And I just find her really realistic. She's like, I have 4C hair, I don't have a lot of density, I have fine hair, and, you know, she deals with, and how she deals with combating shrinkage or dealing with wash day. And her videos are so entertaining. I mean, even if you weren't interested in hair, her videos are that entertaining because her editing style, her sense of humor, and just, they're like mini short films. So entertaining. So go for the hair, stay for the content. Star Puppy, she's great. Another YouTuber who I like for natural hair, who I go to often, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, is Naki Narte. And she just recently has been on a hair journey where she is rehabilitating her hair and learning good hair care skills. And she also does tutorials on very accessible styling that you can do, whether they be flat twists, whether they are twists with extensions. But I like that her styles are very accessible and not overcomplicated, and she focuses on protective styles, so styles that you can keep in for a few days or even up to a week. And she also has, I also enjoy her sense of humor as well. And so, yeah, she's a good one to go to for a wealth of information and just to see some and pick up some things that might inspire you or might help you with your hair journey or how to take care of your hair. One who I frequent often is Green Beauty Channel. Now, she has beauty products she sells as well. Pardon me. She has beauty products she sells as well. She is a scientist, but I couldn't tell you specifically. I want to say she's like a biologist or something like that, but don't take my word for it. But her field is in the sciences. So her videos and the way tend to go in a very educational format. They're usually quite bite-sized. She will do a series. So for example, she's done a series on porosity. She's done a series on clays, and she will go in. She will break things down, like what it means to be cationic or ionic and positive and this, and why this is working or why it's not. And then she will show you alternatives, and she will really go in depth of what something is doing to your hair and why, for positive or negative. She gives very good hair care maintenance tips, but gives you the science behind why these are good or why you could possibly incorporate these into your regimen. She also helps to demystify a lot of information, I find. So I use her as a resource to further check things out. She doesn't post on a schedule, but she does post regularly, if that makes any sense. And the other thing I like is, like, she'll also tackle a lot of trends, natural hair trends that come up here on YouTube, and really break them down, whether it's the inversion method, whether it was the max hydration method at one point, the water only method, or rice water. She will break things down and give you the good, the bad, the ugly about it all in a very comprehensive, easy to understand way. If you're into DIYs and making your own stuff and really into Ayurveda and powders and things like that, which I'm very much into, Ife 360 TV Naturally is great. She currently, I'm not sure if she still is living, she was living in China because she works there. I'm not sure if she's still there. But she does a lot of lives, which is really great because she like did a 1-year Ayurveda challenge where she was trying different Ayurvedic herbs, and she'll show her experience, she'll share recipes. She has her whole journey. She is someone who's been natural her whole life. So she's never had a chemical relaxer in her hair, but she never knew how to take care of it until when she got older. So, it's really nice too because she does a lot of lives. You have the opportunity to interact with her, ask questions, or she asks questions from other people. You get to share a wealth of information with other people who are trying things. And if you were ever interested in, and her recipes are very simple and very accessible, using things like fenugreek, aloe vera, if you're interested in henna, if you're interested in amla, if you're interested in brahmi. So if you've always like kind of wanted to enter the DIY Ayurvedic world and just don't know where to start or how to start, I really suggest Ife. And just because she does do lives quite regularly, it's kind of nice because then you can actually interact and say, well, I tried this, or this and this, and see what kind of input people have to say or what other people are experiencing as well. So number 5 on my hair list is, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, Sinovuyu Mandliwa. She's from South Africa. She's a South African vlogger, and she also does a lot of vlogs, not only on hair care products. She also does, if you happen to be located, I think she's in Cape Town, but I could be wrong. I want to say Cape Town, but don't quote me on that. So she'll also review salons that she goes to, and also it's nice to see a vlog because a lot of the natural hair vloggers are predominantly American, and so it's nice to see somebody who is in another country and using the resources and the products that they have here there, and also as well giving shouts out to different brands than the usual suspects that we hear on this platform. She does post regularly as well, and she's got a beautiful head of natural hair, and she also gives tutorials and how she maintains her styles and what she does. She tends to do a lot of protective styling, but she also wears her hair out a lot as well, so I would definitely suggest checking her out. Another fellow African is Obayaje, and she actually lives in Germany. She's Ghanaian, I believe. And so once again, she has a beautiful head of really long hair. And what's nice about her is, once again, having somebody who doesn't live in the States, where not everybody has access to the brands and things that they have in the States. She shows what a very simplified, because sometimes, you know, us naturals, we get carried away and doing the most. She has a very simplified, structured routine. She gives a lot of insight because she's been on her growth journey for, I think, like maybe 9 or 10 years. So she gives a lot of insight, not only into her regimen, what it took for her to grow her hair, very realistic, practical information, and also to the social impact it's had on her and what to expect and things like that as well. The thing I like about her so much is that she really focuses on the simplicity and the importance, and that this is not, if your goal is length, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Yeah, does that make sense? Okay. And last on my hair list, I would be remiss if I didn't mention a Canadian, and that is Jen Jackson. And she is in Montreal, I believe. Jen Jackson is awesome. She has gone through many different things with her hair. She's kind of like an adventurous with her hair. She's got, I feel like she's maybe done either 2 or 3 big chops and grown her hair back in different styles. So if you wanted like, and different haircuts, and also a lot of things and styles and the versatility of having short hair and taking care of it. But because I think sometimes there's this misconception that we all want to have long hair, or that we're all trying to grow our hair long, and sometimes that's just not the case. She's really great for showing the different styles with short hair. I think now she is actually growing her hair out, but it's still like in a TWA. Yeah, she's a lot of fun to watch and a lot of great inspiration for different hairstyles you can do. One thing I personally like about all these ladies in Line to See, not that whether you believe in the hair typing system or not or whatever, I personally enjoy with all these ladies being to see a group of ladies who are enjoying their hair, who are sharing information, who have a hair texture that is very similar to the way mine looks. And by that, I mean, it's kinky, it's 4C, and it's not what is usually presented in the mainstream. And so it's nice to see these different women with their different takes, with their different styles, with their different approach, with their different struggles come on here and share this information in a very entertaining way. So I suggest you check them out. And the last category, this one gets a lot of overlooked. I find a lot of, when people think about Black female YouTubers, it usually goes natural hair and then maybe beauty and makeup. And there are quite a few female content creators here who do commentary and talk about different aspects, whether it focuses on pop culture, whether it's focusing on politics or just life in general, and it can be really refreshing and very interesting to hear, and also a great way to learn a lot. So let me start off with one of my favorites. They're all my favorites, but like, let me just start off with T, who from Nappy Headed Jojoba. She's really interesting because her channel actually started off as a hair channel, and so she still does have videos on hair and maintenance, and she'll dabble every now and then. She used to do some makeup as well, but her channel has slowly morphed into more on a commentary. She lives in Los Angeles, and she'll cover pop culture topics. She'll cover things that are happening in this space on YouTube. She'll cover dating and the experience of dating, being a single woman and dating, and she'll do a lot of lives as well. And her sense of humor is on point. She has a very dry sense of humor. She has a no fucks attitude. So, if you don't like people swearing, don't watch T. She's a straight shooter. She doesn't swear a lot, but I know some people, for some reason, no, I won't be judgy. That sounded judgy. I know some people aren't comfortable watching somebody who uses cuss words, but she does, and she does it well. So, but her insight and her critical thinking is just so great and so refreshing to hear, especially when it sometimes seems we are kind of sometimes just inundated with sometimes such a herd mentality that we don't take the time to just stop and critically think and analyze and look at things. And she really does a good job of being able to comment on situations that are affecting her environment, her situation, but also a lot of us as well, and especially being a Black female. And yeah, she gives a lot of insight, and it's just really great to see somebody who is bold enough to give her uncensored opinion and commentary and deliver it in such an intelligent way. So, and she does a lot of lives, so I would definitely, yeah, encourage you there. while we are speaking of that, go on to another commentary vlogger, Cat Black. And Cat Black has been on YouTube for a while as well. I started watching her when she would do a lot of things on, you know, her videos tackling issues of racism, misogyny, and topics as that. But now I've really gotten into her even more because she started doing her True Tea series, where a lot of it does tend to be more about her personal life, personal experiences, and subjects that come up. So a lot of it tends to deal with relationships, with her experience being a transgender woman, with her experience living in Los Angeles as well. And she's polyamorous, so getting her take on what relationships are and that dynamic. It's just, she's very educational in that sense, very eye-opening, very honest, and she's just got a really, lack of a better word, a very cool vibe about her. But just really informative. And the thing I like about the way she does her True Tea is it's not about finding answers or anything. It's about discussion and presenting a viewpoint. And once again, very similar to Tea from Nappy Headed Jojoba. It's just this very unapologetic energy without being, there's no fear, anger, or judgment about it, but there's no shame attached to either of them as well. It's just like, this is my experience, this is what I'm going to speak on and speak about, and I'm going to do it in a very honest way. And it doesn't, and it's just very strong and it's very powerful. And I just find her content very interesting to watch. And also it gives me sometimes food for thought and just a different viewpoint on something that maybe I would have either not thought of that or been critical about that. And it's, yeah, she's great. So check out Cat Black. Another one. As Told by Kenya. Oh my gosh. If you have not watched As Told by Kenya, you gotta watch As Told by Kenya. Now, I will warn you, when you watch her, just be careful. Maybe have the volume on your whether you're watching it on a tablet, your computer, on your phone, down a bit, because she has a powerful mic and she is very impassioned with whatever topic she's talking about. I believe she's a law student, and you can tell because the way she structures her topics and her commentary and what she's going to debate on, she does it in such like everyday vernacular, but the construction of the argument is so sound and intelligent. I'm always like, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. And she's so passionate about what she speaks about. And she's another one. I love women who don't mess around and say what they want to say. And she will cover topics, whether she tends to cover a lot of pop culture topics, but she will go beyond it's not just covering it's not just covering the Kardashians just to cover the Kardashians. She will no, let me use this as an example to highlight what is really problematic in the issue and what is going on and how this behavior affects us on a bigger level outside of them. And she will break everything down and use her, that girl, yeah, that woman. So, As Told by Kenya. Check her out. Another great commentator, and I can't get over it that she's like only 19 years old and so intelligent. And I'm like, I was never that smart at your age. Hell, I'm not even sure I'm that smart at you now. Is Amanda BB. Now she will do a lot of use a lot of like either TV shows. She does a lot of TV shows, like she will do America's Top Model. She'll watch it and then let's comment, let's talk about it. Once again, she uses this and she'll go play by play, but it's not just like let's sit and roast, you know, the things, or just a summary. She'll actually break it down and really give really great insight into what the issue is going there, or what that can mean or signify. And whether she likes what she's watched or not, just her energy and her enthusiasm and insight will kind of make you curious to watch it too. I mean, she almost makes me want to watch Dance Moms, and I do not like reality TV. And almost just watching her commentary and how she breaks down each season, it's just fun, it's insightful, and it's really smart. So I definitely check her out. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention, I think, who, in my opinion, are the OGs of Black female content creators who are giving insightful, critical thinking on very topical issues, very pop culture issues, and social constructs and social systems that affect us. And that would be For Harriet and, of course, Julesy. These two women, they have a very different style. For Harriet definitely uses a lot of pop culture. So whether it be reality TV, a movie, a program, to really disseminate things that are going on and to kind of talk about more profound topics, whether it be sexism, racism, fat shaming, toxic masculinity, I mean, you name it, you know, sexuality. She will delve into it, and once again, very well constructed. You can tell there's been a lot of thought put behind this thinking and where she's coming from, and really giving you a lot of food for thought as well. Julesy is similar in that she will talk about maybe similar topics, but she tends to focus a lot on more political topics, and she'll delve into pop culture. She used to have this thing called Pop Snark, which she hasn't been doing as much, but she tends to just go right into the topic, and she deals with a lot of politics. She's also really great at also highlighting, at least in the States, just like the social structure and also the political structure of things, and giving a really great breakdown of if you want things to happen, or the dynamic, or why things are the certain way they are, and the influences, and it really gives you food for thought into the dynamic of things. And the thing I like about both of them, I will mention Julesy has a book club, and also with For Harriet is, I like the fact that since they do reference a lot of reading material, I like that I can springboard from them to go and see what they've been reading, or look into the authors, or look into the references to further educate myself on the topics they're speaking on, whether it's feminism, whether it's the representation of women in pop culture, or Black women, dealing with certain myths. They're just amazing. And I'm going to end with a Canadian, another fellow Canadian, who is here in Toronto, and who I'm actually wearing her earrings today, and that is Tony Daly. Tony Daly is, this woman's been through a lot this year. She's such a powerful, such a strong woman, such a beautiful, just wonderful woman too. And her strength comes in her ability to share her vulnerability and be so transparent. She recently just went through a divorce with her husband that was quite painful, and she vlogged about it, so you got to see all from the heartbreak to her rebuilding herself and getting through it. And I just thought that was so powerful and generous in a way for her to share that experience and that vulnerability to her subscribers. And aside from that, she's a successful businesswoman. She does scarves, she does earrings. She also has wigs, natural hair wigs. I actually have one, the Tony Daly wig, which I've used several times for auditions when I didn't want to wear my own hair out. And she also had started this thing, which she still does actually, this beautiful series called Support a Sister, where she focuses on different Black female entrepreneurs and showcases what they're doing, their business, whether they're artists, whether they're designers, whether they're hairdressers, and really just giving this shout out and this really corralling us and encouraging us to support each other within our community. So, which I just find extremely inspiring. So yeah, so these are the women that inspire me on YouTube. They make great content. I encourage you to please check them out. All the links to all the channels are in the description box. And also, please, if you have any YouTubers that you know of, I would prefer, I just have one preference, that they are on the smaller side. And by small, I mean, you know, somebody who's under 1 million, even like maybe in the 200,000, and, you know, because I want to get their viewership up, get them up there, and get some tam-tam so the rest of the world gets to see these talented, wonderful women. So leave your suggestions and who you're loving down in the comment section so that we can all share and enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.